Hey guys, it's Coach Viv. Hope you can hear me okay. I am sitting outside where I am much happier. I wanted to film this quick video for you today about how to know if your meditation practice is working, if you're doing it right. Okay, this is a really common question folks have. It is not unusual to worry if you're doing things correctly. Are you getting the benefits of spending time practicing meditation? So it's a great question, and like I said, super common one. So I'm going to give you 4 ways to know in this video, 4 ways to know if you are meditating properly. It doesn't matter what type of meditation you're doing. I'm going to give you 4 universal, overarching ways to know if it's working, and at the end I'm going to address the question itself and the problem with the particular question, okay? The first way to know if your meditation is working and you're doing it right is if, and it's a 2-part answer, is if you feel calm, relieved, or just better after you meditate, whether that's a few minutes after, a few hours. But this is the second piece of it. Even if the meditation was difficult, so even if you had trouble concentrating, even if you thought your mind was wandering a lot, you were thinking, you were worrying, you were stressed, or you had an itch, or your knees hurt, whatever the distraction, even if you were distracted and you thought it didn't go well, that you didn't do it well, even if you feel better, more balanced afterwards, that means the meditation is working. Okay, if that makes sense. Okay, so let go of the judgment about how you think you're doing, and I'll address that more. Stuff's hitting me, the trees are attacking me. I'll address that more later in the video, okay? The second way to know is if you are less reactive when things go wrong. So when meditation is actually working, when you're doing it right, you will feel less reactive when things go wrong. So that will be like a coworker, that will be like your child or an aging parent with dementia, anything like that, that where you before would get upset, you're going to get maybe less upset. You're going to just notice you're a little more relaxed dealing with the problem, okay? So it doesn't mean that the problem isn't still there, but you're going to notice that you are less reactive. You respond rather than just like react. Like, when we say knee-jerk reaction. So instead of just an automatic anger or irritability, you are able to just kind of get yourself, get a better respond to what's needed in the situation. So that's the second way that you know your meditation is absolutely, it's working, keep going, you're doing it right. Okay. The third way to know if your meditation is working is if you, and this one is my favorite, you'll feel less rushed and that you have more time in your day. It is very hard to explain. I have ideas as to why this happens, but if you notice that you feel less rushed when you're doing things, you feel more relaxed, you're doing your same things, but you feel like time is opening up a little bit. I always compare it to like the Matrix, like time slows down. Okay, it may not be that dramatic, but somewhat. You'll notice, right? That means the meditation is working. Now, I have a friend who is teaching herself meditation. She's just been practicing because we're friends. She doesn't want to study with me because she knows me as a friend, whatever. She's been meditating for 2 years. I mentioned this to her and she's like, I don't feel that. That is just not happening for me. And what that tells me is that there's something off about her method and what she's doing. She's not getting that feeling of like, oh, okay, like I have more time when I'm doing tasks, feeling like literally less a sense of urgency, stress, or rush. She's not feeling that, and that tells me something is off and needs to be adjusted. So I'm going to actually stop here for one quick thing to mention to you, and this is my invitation for you to consider taking my training, which is live, on how to meditate. I'm calling it Soulful Mindfulness this time. It's the third time I've taught it. I've taught it live. It is open to women at this point. Later on, if you leave a comment, if you know you're interested, I can broaden it out a little bit. But we're enrolling right now. And don't let 8 weeks scare you. It just means 8 sessions over 8 weeks, which gives you time to kind of build your practice. So do check that out. It's a wonderful program. I love teaching it. People report all sorts of benefits. I don't want to take more time in this video, but there are testimonials there. I explain more and give more detail. So I'd love for you to check that out, enroll, and there is also a low-income price that if that is for you, you can check that out. Let's go on. The fourth reason and the fourth way that you'll know, it ties into the others, that your meditation is working, you're doing it correctly, is you'll notice a difference on the days you don't meditate. So what does that mean? Say you're doing 3 times a week and then you stop for a week, you notice a difference, okay? And let me tell you a story about my dear friend. This what happened with him, using an example of a supplement. Like, you may have that with a vitamin or medication that you take, where it's like you feel a certain way, and the only way to know what it's doing is to, like, you stop. So my friend would take a green drink, and he'd run out of it sometimes. And after about a week, he'd be like, Viv, oh my God, that stuff. He'd feel that it works, like he knew it worked, but when he stopped, he'd kind of, his energy would go down. He's like, I just feel it. I don't have as much energy. So if you're quite regular with meditation, it may take some time for you to notice that drop off, your day is not going as well, as smoothly, you're less balanced. You just see a difference in your day. So don't think that it's like if you miss one day, then all of a sudden, you know, everything like goes to blank in a hell in a handbasket or whatever. I don't know. I like old-fashioned phrases, like really old phrases, but it takes a while for you to notice that you're not getting the benefits because you'd gotten used to them. And then it's actually stopping that makes you notice, oh, something is missing, right? So that's the fourth way to know that your meditation is actually working, because when you stop it, you don't feel as good. But I do want to address this question itself of you feeling like, are you meditating correctly? Are you doing it right? Is it working? The question itself is a stressful question for you, and I just want to urge you to not kind of get too tight around that question. Here's why. One, the question itself will actually stress you out. So even when you're meditating, you could start having what we call doubt. You start doubting that it's working. You start doubting, anything's happening. Then you're like, well, I think I should just stop anyway. I think I should just stop meditating. So it can lead, that doubt can really build up in your mind. So also, the question of are you doing it correctly, it's very hard to judge. That's the other piece. Oh my goodness. I'm getting tree love here. It's very hard to judge yourself where you are on a journey. Imagine it's a journey you've never taken. Imagine you went on a long hiking trip, and maybe you set out, maybe you have a map, maybe you don't. You probably don't, for my analogy. But you see this beautiful scenic area, the weather's nice, you got water, you're like, I'm gonna do this hike. You don't really know how long the hike is. You've never seen the terrain, right? Is it hilly? Is it flat? How much water is there? Is there water from a stream that you can drink or not? The meditation is the same way. It's very hard for you to judge if you're doing it correctly. Go back to my first point where I said to you, you feel distracted, you have an itch, you had to stand up, your back was hurting. You're going to judge yourself that you're not doing well, where a teacher might tell you, oh, that's perfectly normal, that's fine, don't worry about it. So just don't get too stressed out about the question of, am I doing it right? If you notice, even in part, these 4 things that I mentioned, right? And I'm just going to recap briefly. You feel better, relieved, more relaxed after you meditate, even if it was difficult. You feel less reactive when things go wrong in your life. The third, you feel less rushed. You feel like time is a little more spacious for you. And 4, when you don't meditate, after some time, you notice a difference. Like, you can see a before and an after. So those are the 4 ways. So again, check out my meditation training. It is live. It's not pre-recorded. I am with you in a private group, and I've also added community this time, where it's like a forum. You can write to other folks in the group, the other people that you're going to get to know. You can have that community support. So it's one thing to have information. Of course, you can meditate with any video on YouTube, but to understand why you meditate, when to do which type, how long, all of these questions, all of the background, that's what you'll get with studying with me, and that community support, which is really, really special, and just really good for us, especially in the times we're in right now on the planet. The links will be below. Very, very easy. Look below the video and in the first comment. As I'm filming this, we're starting mid-October, but get on the wait list if you missed that, and because I will repeat it. So sending you much love, and let's just close with just a little brief centering. Sit up nice and tall and close your eyes, and just take 3 nice deep breaths. Inhale, exhale through your mouth, blowing the air out slowly, slowly, slowly. Separate your feet and continue with that nice deep breath. Let it pull you up tall, shoulders down, heart open, and exhale. One more nice conscious deep breath. Exhale. And if you have any further questions, comments, please put them below. I look forward to responding, especially in the first 24 hours. And give the video a thumbs up if you got something of value out of it. I really appreciate that. All right. Stay blissed and blessed. Bye-bye.